Hi, friends. Welcome to this hand rant. So, welcome to these rants. If this is the first rant that you're ever watching in your entire life, welcome. This is what I do on this page on hand rants. Hand rants. And sometimes the captions catch exactly what I'm trying to say, and sometimes they don't. So, if you're able to actually hear my voice while you read the captions, that's the best way to do it. So, where we're going to go with this one is I have a book of rants that I write down. They are a way for me to process thoughts and stuff of what I'm going through. They are observations of things that are going on around me in my environment that I'm curious about, or maybe don't understand, or maybe interested in how other people feel about. I like to talk a lot about like the spirituality side of things as well, and like just how crazy life really is. And the main message that I like to deliver and get out there is that we can create the life that we want to live at any age, no matter what. We have excuses that will always be that block. But when we remove that block and that excuse, we really are able to create the life we want to live, and we can live the life we want to live. And we can live it in such intentional ways that it just makes us incredibly happy and fulfilled. So I'm going to continue to explain how I'm doing that, where I started from and where I'm going, hoping to go with it, and just to show you that the evolution of one's path is not linear. It is full of ups and downs, different waves, different potholes you gotta dodge, and definitely trial and error. If you are afraid to even try something that you're interested in, you will never achieve anything. You will never be able to tap into your greatness. You have to be able to mentally prepare yourself for failure, for things not working out. And the more that we do that, the more powerful we are in our resilience, and the more we're able to literally bounce back with more ideas, more ambition, more just like curiosity and fun, and evolve into something beautiful. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So I want to tell you a really quick story about where I started from and then where I'm going. So for those of you that don't know me at all, I'm from a very small town in Alberta, about 5,000 people. I'm sure it's like 5,500 by now. And I grew up there. I was there for a really long time. I moved away for about maybe a year or two, and then I moved back, and for the duration of my 20s, I was in a long-term committed relationship. At least I was committed. And I then split up with my partner in January of 2020, just as everything crazy was happening. My relationship ended. I actually lost my job at the health center as well because of COVID, and we were going through, that was just like the projection, and they knew that I was leaving, so they were like, hey Hannah, we're just gonna lay you off. Anyway, and I was like, okay. So then in the matter of a couple weeks, I had sold the majority of my belongings, and I had moved in with my mom and dad in Vernon in BC. About 2 weeks after I moved in there, I was on Bumble trying to find friends, and I found a fucking great friend, and that friend brought me to Vancouver Island, and specifically the Cowichan Valley, where I was able to start a farm for the first time ever. That is not a background of mine. I had never done any type of farming in my life. I didn't even know what a perennial was. In fact, I ripped out all of the pineapple sage that was a perennial on the property by total accident, and that is something that I will laugh about till probably the day that I die. And I was there for 5 years, and I was part of that farm for 5 years. I lived there physically on the property for 4.5. The majority of the time I lived on that property, I was romantically involved with Brandon, and he and I created everything together. I would say the majority of that farm was a labor of love that came from our relationship, and it was chaos and messy, and that was just a reflection of the relationship as well. But there is absolutely no shade. I'm so grateful for that time that I spent there, and for the love that we shared. So during my time at the farm, I created a lot of things. I tried a lot of things. I put myself out there completely. I started different businesses that maybe lasted like a day, a week. I did a yoga studio. I helped with like community projects. I started community gardens. I worked with the local nonprofits. I helped start a yoga studio, 2 of them. I did a lot of really cool things, and the coolest thing was the juice bar. Being able to create that community space and serve people something that was nourishment and really good for them and that made them happy and made them smile every day was fantastic. So I did a juice bar for 2 seasons, and it was phenomenal. I also did the garden as well and was able to sell like a very small amount of fresh produce from there. And I actually supported myself through that endeavor for 2 seasons. And then life crumbled a tiny bit, and I decided to leave the farm. I then got a job at another place just in Mill Bay, which has given me the financial freedom now to be able to explore my future differently. So that is where I'm at right now. I have, a secure job that I am so grateful for. I have a beautiful cottage that was literally like, I've been told made for me. And if, so this beautiful place that I live in, it is like, it's a blessing. It is a fucking blessing. And I am incredibly grateful for it. The timing of everything just like fell into place. And I ended up here, and I've been here for now 2.5 years. And it's been fantastic, and I love it. And I'm so grateful to Catherine, the senior woman that I live with. She has her own house over there, and she's a really great friend of mine, and we hang out sometimes, and sometimes we just text. And it's very freeing and absolutely fantastic, so I'm very grateful for it. Actually, I'm going to show you a picture right now of the property, kind of with a rainbow over it. This was like when I first moved in, and like a month after I moved in, and I took this picture and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm home, which is great. So I absolutely love it. And yeah, so where I'm going now is, I don't know yet. But what I'm excited about is being able to step more into my genuine curiosity and authenticity of where my life can go. I am authentic with my intention. I want to always be able to provide a space for people to come and feel like they belong. That's so real for me. I know how well that worked at the juice bar. I felt that energy with people. People like would just come and hang out. They would come and hang out in the hammocks. They would come and hang out in the chairs. We would talk for hours. Sometimes they would just read. Sometimes we'd play games. Sometimes we'd smoke a joint. Sometimes we would cry. Sometimes there were these crazy short interactions that were completely life-changing for everybody involved and everybody that was present. And I want to continue to create spaces like that. So being a creative director of spaces, I am choosing to test the waters in a different country. And I have a few places on my list of where I want to check out. And I'm going to 2 of those places in December. And I'm very excited to start connecting with the people there. I've already connected with some people there, and I'm very excited to just like surf for a week straight in warm water, and to eat really good food, and to travel to the like local farms, and just to connect with people and see how a white gringo girl like myself here is going to be received in a place like that. But my intention going into it is pure. I 100% want to always be able to provide a space for people to belong, for people to come to, for people to rest. Just fucking rest. You can sleep in a hammock. You can just chill. Just forget about everything that is heavy, let it go, and then just be here. and you can do nothing or you can do a bunch of things, you know? And like, this isn't just like a retreat center. This is like a community that you're a part of. It's much bigger than just a retreat center. It's a whole community. That's what I'm searching for. That's what I am truly, deeply longing for and have been from a very small child. I have, from a very young age, always been a social person. I used to have friends over every Friday. And if you're one of those friends that are still watching this that was with me back in the day, then you remember all the snacks that my mom would make and getting drove to the beach and having all the parties and getting ready before dances. And like, we did so many amazing things. And I've always been that person to hold that space. And I want to continue to do that. So yeah, I'm very excited. And as you can see, the steps and the process of how I've got to where I am right now was definitely like this. I had some really high highs and I've had some really low lows, and all of that has brought me to where I am right now. And I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I'm incredibly excited about it. And I'm going to enjoy every minute. And yeah, I hope that this, my like short version of my story, has encouraged you to just like dream a little bit bigger for yourself. And if you have blocks in your way, if there are excuses that are holding you back, then like I invite you to really like look at them and to maybe like take it off of the shelf, turn it around, put it back on the shelf and look at it from a different view. And then just maybe you'll be able to do exactly what you want to do, or something similar to what you want to do. All right. Thank you for your time today. And until next time, be kind.